Since its establishment in 1948, the Hong Kong Housing Society, as the first non-government housing organization in Hong Kong, has been playing the role of a housing laboratory, achieving numerous important milestones in the history of Hong Kong's housing development. In 1952, the Housing Society built the first rental estate in Hong Kong, Shung Li Uk, in Sham Shui Po. This marked the beginning of public rental housing in Hong Kong. From the 1950s to the 1990s, the Housing Society continued to build more rental estates, catering to the housing needs of low-income families. Till now, there are 20 rental estates, providing homes for 30,000 families and accommodating about 90,000 people. Among those are 3 rural public housing estates developed in the 80s for indigenous villagers affected by rural development. Besides, the Housing Society has been aware of the issue of aging buildings as early as in the 1970s and tore down older buildings for redevelopment under the Urban Improvement Scheme. In the beginning of the 21st century, the Housing Society collaborated with the Urban Renewal Authority, URA, on a number of urban renewal projects. At the same time, through the promotion and implementation of various building management and rehabilitation schemes, the Housing Society joined hands with the government and the URA to provide financial assistance to owners of aged buildings for enhancing their building maintenance and management. To fulfill the aspiration of Hong Kong people in home ownership, the Housing Society has been implementing various subsidized housing schemes. The Subsidized Sale Flats project, launched in recent years, aim at assisting middle-income families and singletons to buy their first home. In view of the aging population in Hong Kong, the Housing Society started to develop elderly housing projects in the 1990s that came with age-friendly designs and services. 2 projects under the Senior Citizen Residences Scheme, Jolly Place and Cheerful Court, were completed in 2003 and 2004 respectively, providing middle-income elderly with residences, recreational facilities, medical and care services, all under the same roof. Seeing a lack of elderly housing options for the more affluent, the Housing Society launched the first non-subsidized elderly housing project, the Tanner Hill, in 2015. It provides individual accommodations incorporated with elderly-friendly facilities and services, professional health care, and features gerund technology in its design. Moreover, the Housing Society has implemented the Aging in Place scheme in its rental estates to fulfill the needs of elderly tenants in terms of housing, healthcare, and social support, enabling them to lead an independent life. The Housing Society has also pioneered Hong Kong's first Elderly Resource Center to raise public awareness about age-friendly homes and aging in place. Completed in 2014, Harmony Place promotes cross-generational harmony by incentivizing the younger generation to live in close proximity to their senior family members. The Housing Society, being an important partner of the government, is set to serve the housing needs of the public by implementing a range of suitable schemes and projects, which include the provision of subsidized sales flats in Kai Tak and on Anderson Road, as well as within the new redeveloped rental estates. And in support of the government's development clearance exercises, the Housing Society helped to build dedicated rehousing estates for affected residents. As half of the rental estates of the Housing Society are over 40 years old, redevelopment is inevitable. An integrated redevelopment model will be adopted for these new redevelopments whenever possible. Apart from rental flats, the new developments will also provide subsidized sale flats and elderly housing units, with the aim of fostering intergenerational harmony within the community. Currently, the redevelopment pipeline include Ming Wat Dai Ha, which is undergoing redevelopment, as well as Kwang Tung Garden Estate, Yu Kong Chun, and Chun Sin Mie Chun, which are under planning. Elderly housing will remain a key business of the Housing Society. The third SEND project at Lee Kung Street in Hung Hom is expected to complete in 2022. On the other hand, the Housing Society has been studying the prospect of constructing additional blocks for the elderly in existing estates. Construction of the elderly block at Jat Min Chuen is commenced, with target completion in 2023. The Flat for Flat pilot scheme for elderly owners, implemented in 2019, is aimed to optimize the use of existing housing resources by boosting the turnover of subsidized housing. Besides, for helping to improve the living conditions of the people waiting for public rental housing and with a view to optimize the use of existing housing resources, the Housing Society launched the transitional housing scheme T-Home in 2018. Projects rolled out include the refurbished vacant flat in Yukongcheon, Kwantong Garden Estate and Trackside Villas, a property of MTR Corporation Limited, and the letting scheme for subsidized sale developments with premium unpaid. As an organization with a social mission, the Housing Society values the sustainable development of Hong Kong. To this end, it contributes by protecting the environment, nurturing talents, and supporting industry development. The Housing Society is also the first housing development organization in Hong Kong being awarded the ISO 14001 Environmental Management System accreditation. Looking into the future, the Housing Society will introduce innovative green building technologies in the coming projects, such as modular integrated construction, MIC, and building information modeling, BIM technology, in an effort to enhance worksite safety, reduce construction waste, minimize the noise and dust, and at the same time enhance the construction quality and efficiency. In regard to community engagement, the Housing Society community will continue to strengthen the ties among residents and promote harmony in the neighborhood. The Housing Society Exhibition Center, opened in 2018, will serve as a platform to sustain our communication with the public on the housing development of Hong Kong, as well as the mission and work of the Housing Society. In regard to serving the community, the Housing Society has been pledging full support for various volunteer activities and charity events, lending a helping hand to the elderly and under-resourced families. To support the sustainable development of the industry, the Housing Society awards scholarships to outstanding students in housing development, elderly services, or related subjects. It also offers internship opportunities to students in an effort to nurture the next generation of talents. Exchange activities are also held regularly to share experiences with industry peers. The Housing Society has gone through a journey of more than 70 years together with Hong Kong people. Whatever the future holds, we will continue to uphold our mission to provide quality housing for the Hong Kong people, working hand in hand with the government and stakeholders, especially in the area of elderly housing, subsidized sale flats, estate redevelopment, and dedicated rehousing estates, to create homes, revive communities.